Hi, my name's Greta and today we're at the Southern Farming Systems trial site at Inverleigh. I'm joined by Fischer from the FMC and today he'll be talking about their new product, Overwatch.
Thanks Greta, pleased to be here at the Southern Farming Systems site. The idea of the FMC trial with Overwatch here this year is to have a look at what happens with Overwatch with new mixing partners. So there's plenty of pre-emergent products in the marketplace and Overwatch will be a new one that's available in 2021. And we wanted to see, with this trial here, to see if we could get increased efficacy or if there was any combination issues we needed to know about with other pre-emergents and the likes. So it's important for us to know exactly how our product's working. And in many cases, when you combine pre-emergent herbicides together, you can get that lift of efficacy on the weeds, primarily when you're targeting ryegrass. So it's really important to know exactly where it fits, and products working together end up with a better result. And so this trial is set up with a number of combinations of pre-emergents and some early post-emergent sprays, just to get a look at what happens in barley in this environment with the combination of all the pre-emergents that we're using.
Stephen, this is a very visual chemical. What is happening to cause the yellowing in the crop?
Overwatch is a visual product. You're always going to know when you've used Overwatch in your paddock, and we see that not always, but from time to time we've certainly seen a little bit this year in transient bleaching. And that's all about the plant digesting the herbicide and growing through it. And the time that it takes for the bleaching to pass through is generally around 7 to 10 days. So there shouldn't be too much of an issue there. Sometimes when it's a bit cooler, it might be a little bit longer. But research that's been done by FMC over the last number of years has shown that the transient bleaching hasn't restricted the yield potential of the crops. And the other reason that we talk about Overwatch being such a visual product is also how it works on the weeds, in that the weeds emerge and then die. So the way Overwatch works, it inhibits carotenoid production, which protects photosynthesis in the plant, so that weeds do have to emerge and come up, and then they are affected. Basically, the weeds have had their sunscreen removed so that the sunlight penetrates. So that's the uniqueness of having a Group Q chemistry of Overwatch. It is visual. The ryegrass grows, gets to one leaf and turns a really bright pink or magenta colour and then will die off. Other weeds do similar things as well. So it is visual in that it has that impact on the crop. It shows up early stages, but not always, but you will always see the impact on the weeds when you've used Overwatch.
How can growers incorporate Overwatch into their chemical rotations?
So Overwatch is being a Group Q chemistry is something that's new to the pre-emergent side of the industry in the crops. And what Overwatch's real value for farmers and the consultants and agronomists out there is that we've got registration in 3 crops. So we've got barley, canola and wheat, and we also have durum as part of that package as well. So there's a lot of flexibility on how people can use Overwatch in their farming systems to control ryegrass as a main target. So if you've got a bad paddock, you can change the way you might look at that paddock in some ways. Rather than keeping your rotation you're focusing on your crop rotation, you can look at using Overwatch in that paddock. If it's a problem paddock, use Overwatch and you've got the option of those 3 crops to go over the top. But there is some areas where we've got to stay on track with how we use it. So it is only allowed to be used as knife point press wheel on label. So that's one of the characteristics. And in sowing with knife point press wheel, for the safety of the crop and keeping the chemical apart, we're recommending that you sow at about 3 centimetres depth, just to keep that chemical and seed separation. Along with the opportunity to use it in 3 different crops, we've also got a very wide label for control of weeds. We've got ryegrass, of course, bifora, sow thistle, silvergrass, hogweed and lesser loosestrife, which is probably of more interest down here as well. And we know that it's very, very active on those. And the other thing that is a really impressive thing that I've seen this year as well is that we have up to 12 weeks activity with Overwatch in the field. So you've got really good combination. You've got choice of crop, you've got a long list of weeds on the label, and you've also got a long residual control. So this trial here is part of a large-scale pre-launch year of Overwatch. We've got the trial here looking at barley and a whole lot of mixes here with you guys at Southern Farming Systems. We've got Chris Preston doing work next door in the wheat as well, so it's fantastic. But overall, FMC's put together a massive year of looking at to get people comfortable with Overwatch right across the country. It's a big program this year and it's been very well received, even in a difficult year.
Thanks, Stephen, for today. If you want to know more or have any questions, please join us at our follow-up Friday session.